Ha plus board to give us aboard. On plus aware to give us unaware. The examples we discussed are those ones that come before the free morphemes. Now let us talk about those ones that come after the free morphemes. So that is by implication called suffixes. We have play plus full to make playful. Full plus ly to become fully. Fine plus est to become finest. And lastly, I have book plus ish to become bookish. You discover that all the bound morphemes in these examples come after the free morphemes. And the free morphemes are play, full, fine, and book. At the same time, you can have bound morphemes coming before and after free morphemes. Let us see some of the examples. You have un, which is a negative marker, plus accept, plus able. Un is a prefix and a bound morpheme. Accept is a free morpheme. Able is a bound morpheme and it is coming after the free morpheme accept. So we have un as a prefix, able as a suffix, and we are having unacceptable as a new word. We also have this plus comfort and ing, the gerund, which gives us discomforting. We have in plus compare plus able, which gives us incomparable. We have in plus able plus ity to give us inability. And lastly, we have un plus believe plus able, which gives us unbelievable. Let us consider morphemes that are added to nouns in plural formation. I have mentioned plural formation in the other slide, and I said most times in plural formation you add s. Here we are going to see how we can add morphemes to nouns in order to make those nouns plurals. The first one we are going to discuss is the nouns that add s to form their plural. The first example I have here is book plus s to give us books, followed by table to give us tables, girl plus s to give us girls, key plus s to give us keys, toe plus s to give us toes. The second category is the nouns that add es. In most cases, such nouns usually end in o, or x, or ch. We have examples like tomato to form tomatoes, box to become boxes, hero to become heroes, potato to become potatoes, mango to become mangoes, church to become churches, and branch to become branches. Another category is nouns that had ves. Examples include knife. When you want to change knife to plural, you have to remove the fe, or you change the f to v and then add s to become knives. The same is applicable to wife. You change the f to v and add s to become wives. And lastly, we have nouns that had es. Those are nouns that end with y. Examples include baby. Baby will change at the back, at the end of its spellings. You have BABIES. The y will change to I, and then you are going to add es. Same with lorries and batteries. We also have null or zero morpheme. This category of morpheme talks about words that do not change, both in singular and plural. So what you have under singular is also what you have when you are expressing the plural form. Examples include cattle, there, furniture, aircraft, sheep, and so on. Another category under pluralizing nouns is the replacive morpheme. Here, the rule for changing singular to plural is not fixed, such that the spelling in most cases change completely. Let us look at some of the examples we have. Mouse, which indicates singular. When you want to change it to plural, it becomes mice. Woman becomes women. There is just a slight change in that, in the sense that an alphabet is changed from A to E in the spelling. We also have foot to become feet, child to become children, and so on. The second classification of morpheme is the structure-based description. And under this we have two categories. We have the root morpheme. The root morpheme has to do with the independent morpheme, and it is also the morpheme that has the principal meaning on which the bound morpheme depends for its meaning. The root morpheme can stand alone to make a complete thought, and it is that morpheme that accommodates the bound morphemes, both the prefixes and suffixes. Let us see these examples. This plus unity to form disunity. In this word, we have a root word which is unity, and this is a bound morpheme which has been attached to it. Other examples are ignoble, and our root morpheme is noble. Playful. From this we have play as our root morpheme. Teacher. Teach is our root morpheme, while the ER is the bound morpheme. Boys. Boy is our root morpheme, and the S is the bound morpheme. And lastly, we have prayed. Pray is our root morpheme, and ED is the bound morpheme. So you discover that if you remove the root morphemes from the examples we have, other words, I mean the bound morphemes, would be meaningless, and they cannot make their meanings without adding the root morphemes. The root morphemes sometimes combine two or more of itself, meaning you can have two or more morphemes in a word, and that is what we call compound words. Compound words could be hyphenated, it could be written together or separated. Let us look at the examples we have here. Classroom, table salt, in-house, mother-in-law, blackboard, textbook, football, playboy, cowboy, living room, headmaster, and watchman. We have a lot of them in English language. So if you look at these examples, you discover that if you separate them, each of these compound words, if you separate them, you would still have meanings in each of them. For example, there is a word called class, and there is another one called room. But joining them together is giving us a compound word and indicating another meaning. Classroom, a room where people learn. Base morpheme and root morpheme. There is a slight difference between the base morpheme and the root morpheme. The root morpheme is the original free morpheme that makes up the root morpheme. So when you have a root morpheme, you are having a combination of two base morphemes. Two base morphemes would give you a root morpheme. Now let us see the examples. We have 3 columns here, and the first one has base morphemes, the second one too has base morphemes, and the last one is the result of the combination of the two base morphemes. Class plus room to give us classroom. So class is a base morpheme, room is a base morpheme, but classroom is a root morpheme. Head plus master to give us headmaster. Board plus room to give us boardroom. School plus girls to give us schoolgirls. Chalk plus board to give us chalkboard. So classroom, headmaster, boardroom, schoolgirls, and chalkboard are root morphemes that have been formed after joining the two base morphemes on the two columns. Affixes. Affixes are morphemes that are added to free morphemes in order to change them from one word class to another. Affixes depend solely on the free morphemes for their meanings. And when I say they are capable of changing words from one word class to another, I mean to say they can change noun to verbs, they can change verbs to adverbs, they can change adjectives to adverbs, and so on. Let us look at the features of affixes. Affixes are subordinate to free morphemes. This means affixes can't make their complete thought, their meanings, without the free morphemes. You have to add free morphemes to affixes before they can be meaningful. Affixes are not present in every word, meaning not all English words can accommodate affixes. A word can have more than 2 affixes. This implies that in some cases you could have more than 2 affixes. You could have a prefix and more than 2 suffixes in a word. Affixes make complete thoughts when they are joined with the free morpheme. So until they are joined with the free morpheme, they cannot make a complete thought. Affixes either come before or after the free morpheme. And you should bear in mind that the one that comes before is called prefix, while the one that comes after is called suffix. And lastly, there are fixed positions for affixes. The ones that will come before cannot be put after the free morpheme, and the ones that would come after the free morphemes cannot be put before the free morphemes. And that is why we have prefixes and suffixes.